What's going on, folks? People all over. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Run and Gun Podcast. I almost messed up. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Run and Gun.
Special edition. Early time.
Yeah, early time. We're going an hour early today for personal reasons for both of us. Won't say why, but see why are you smiling like that? He's so evil. He's so evil. He got that smirk on his face and stuff. He's so evil. But
Maybe. I got faces for everything. But anyway, let's get this. We got HBCU. The usual stuff. Well, we're gonna talk about Brett Favre. They ain't gonna talk about it on the media, but we'll talk about Brett Favre.
yes, I'm actually glad you said that.
We didn't talk about it yesterday, but we're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk NFL. We're gonna talk college football. Hot topics. Got a couple things. Baseball is getting the playoff. The playoff picture is coming more clear. Hockey media day was today. Lightning. NBA training camps, I think, next week. Robert Sarver's selling the Phoenix Suns and Mercury, or whatever they're called. But, yeah, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. I don't know what else you got to say, JPeeps. But you got the preseason breakdown. What time? Not preseason. Pre-game breakdown.
So, Saturday at 5, FAMU and Alabama A&M. Breaking it down. And then also, too, thank you to the 1,000 followers. We hit that mark last night before the last Skip podcast went fully on air, and it was incredible.
On Twitter. Now, go and hit that link in the bio.
Exactly.
On Twitter. You need to put that when you want to tweet.
You know what? Let me
go to the YouTube channel and give the YouTube channel some love.
I'm going to get the exact number. All 1,001 of you, because it is technically 1,001 to be technical. All 1,001 of you that we are forever grateful for, hit the link in the bio and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All 1,000 of you. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now,
we have to put in a tweet for that. Because they ain't going to see it if they don't subscribe to the YouTube channel.
That's true.
Well, let's run the intro and get going.
Got to think about how to do that in a nice civil manner and not seem so lashing. But yeah, let's roll the intro. Okay, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash.
This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
the Run and Gun Podcast.
So let's go ahead and
flip
over and dive into it. So I think, as we all know, FAMU had a much needed bye week after
rocky start.
Yeah,
rocky start.
After looking like the 1976 Tampa Bay Bucks, and then coming out and still playing flat against Albany State. You got a much needed bye week, so now you turn your attention back to SWAC play. And you got to go against Alabama A&M. This team, look, Alabama A&M's 0-3, but certain aspects of it, I wouldn't think, just because they're 0-3, they must really be sorry. That's not the case. They played some quality opponents. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Okay, Xavier Langford. He's got 4 interceptions. He has yet to throw a touchdown pass this season. Gary Quarles, 127 yards through 3 games. He's only got 1 TD. FAMU's offense looks a little bit better. So, there's a chance, you could possibly work out the kinks. But again, Alabama A&M restructured their entire team through the transfer portal. They brought in guys just like how Jackson State did. So I don't know the quality of talent, the quality of talent that they have. I don't know.
Chemistry and talent got to coincide.
Exactly. And the attention to detail, I feel like with now, give or take, Coach Maynard's a good coach, but at the same time, too, Coach Maynard, I can guarantee you, is not teaching these kids the attention to detail and the quality that Dion did. So, I mean, I think the obvious reason is you see the results on the field taking place, but I still wouldn't take Alabama A&M lightly. So there's that. And also, too, Coach Simmons said hopefully 5 of the 8 guys that are ineligible at the moment will be back this week. Hopefully you do get back a Jordan Moore and an Eric Horn. So, because that's much needed in this defensive scheme. So, yeah, Ace, you got anything?
Yeah, okay. So, based on what you've said and what we were talking about we were talking about A&M and the guy who was averaging like 1.4 yards per carry. That was what?
Gary
last week or the week before?
That was last week. That was Gary Quarles.
That was last week. We were talking about that is bad. Like, how gettable this Alabama A&M's offense is for the FAMU defense. It's pretty clear. You could see it. But it's on FAMU's defense to finally show up in a game for the season.
Yep.
And we got BJ Bowler back there. You got Isaiah and neither of whom have actually done diddly squat this year so far. And we got to call them out to actually do stuff to help take over some games. Because, I mean, Isaiah, you were the best defensive player in what? SWAC play?
In the FCS last year.
Yeah, in the FCS, you were voted the best defensive player. I don't even think you have a sack yet on the season. Albeit it's only been 2 games. 1 sack. 1 sack in 2 games. Yeah, that ain't good, but we know your production, we know the talent, but you got to go out and actually do it again.
So I'm going to give you a rundown of Gary Quarles' average after last week. So he went from 1 yard per average to 2.6 yards per carry on average. So it got a little bit better.
Wow. So it'll take only 5 downs to get a first down. Well, no, probably 4. It's 4 downs to get a first down. So it's a little better.
Progress. But also, too, I will say, it's going to come down to getting Jeremy Musa in a rhythm early as well. Him and Xavier Smith developed good chemistry. But the one thing I will say that I said 2 weeks ago on Saturday is I still need to see who is the true number 2. I know everybody's saying Jamari Shareed, but who is the true number 2 behind Xavier Smith? What do I mean when I say that? Who is the guy that's going to, if he's being taken out of the equation, who's the guy that's going to step up when things aren't going so well in this offense? Who's that guy that's going to get open when the number 1 option's been taken away? Is it Trevonte Davis? Is it David Manigo? Is it Jamari Shareed? Who is it? Because that's one element that I want to see this weekend. If Alabama A&M's defense does take that away, who steps up? Because right now I feel like if Xavier Smith gets taken away, we're in trouble. And you don't want to be in trouble with your home winning streak on the line.
Well, the home winning streak aside, I mean, they're going to end up like the 2019 Saints in the playoffs. Take away the best receiver. That team just falls apart.
You got a point. And also, too, but I don't know if you want to do it in this segment, but I did want to talk about this thing with Dion and what he said. I don't know if you saw the interview.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't got the specifics on it. So I might as well talk about it now.
He basically had the nerve to say, and I like what Dion's doing, but this was boneheaded in my opinion. He had the nerve to really come out and say that, well, we want to talk about tradition and being there as fans and stuff, but
with the people leaving early or whatever.
Yeah. See, here's the thing that Dion doesn't realize. You already have a water crisis in your city. So tell me this. Why were the folks on the Grambling side not accommodated with water bottles? Let me stop. Water bottles like how you were. And then why was the concession stands short-staffed? Heaven forbid, I feel like these people and then also too, I'm about to get into like a serious health inspector mode now. First of all, you also have to factor in too that the people working the concession stand likely weren't able to wash their hands, so the food was not clean at all. So you have that problem. That's one. And then the fact of the matter is there was no toilet paper That's two. So I don't know if it's OSHA or if it's the health. Yeah, the health inspector still needs to step in and say something, or code enforcement. Then the fact of the matter too is people who can't wash their hands at the stadium. So there's that. Plus you got the band. The band left because they were directly in the sun. They had to leave early. You had kids falling out. There's photo evidence of it. So why is he saying that? And then he said it the week before Orange Blossom Classic. The band was directly in the sun. The March 100 could not come back to the stands because the fire marshal would not let them. So why? Heaven forbid someone's kid falls and drops dead out there. I understand Dion's like, well, fans do it in the NFL. That's different.
Nah, you're gonna end up with the situation that Maryland had with the heat stroke with the kids on the football team.
Exactly.
That you don't want. I mean, they wouldn't have this issue in the stadium and in the entire city infrastructure if somebody else didn't not do something that they weren't supposed to do.
Oh, we're gonna get into that too. But yeah, it's like, dude, here's my thing. This SWAC is not like the NFL top to bottom, and it's not like the SEC. People want to compare so much. You need to sit back and look at the bigger picture. First of all, I've been to 2 football games, 2 SEC games in the state of Mississippi. They accommodate their fans with a good fan experience, such as having water available. I'm not saying all SWAC schools do that.
Before. That was before that whole problem.
No, not even. I can go to Starkville right now. I can go to Starkville right now and still be accommodated properly. They sell Chick-fil-A in Starkville too. Did you not know that? You can get Chick-fil-A on game day. But see, and then even the same thing
with
with
the NFL, you'll get Chick-fil-A on game day.
Even with the NFL, like, dude,
you don't get it.
That's you. Yeah, you don't get it. I mean, well, the Saints have Popeyes in their stadium.
No, I'm saying you can't get Chick-fil-A in Starkville on NFL days.
Oh, well, of course. That's true. I understand. But still, like, I understand where he's trying to go with it. But at the same time, too, Jackson and most of these SWAC stadiums can't replicate what the NFL does on a Sunday. I'm sorry. They just can't. There's too much money involved with the NFL. Millions, probably billions. It's not compatible. I understand you're getting the kids ready to play for that level, but as far as fan experience goes, it's not compatible. You can't do it. I'm sorry. You just can't do it. But now go ahead and go for the other reason as far as the other guy in Mississippi.
Okay, so would you believe all these years I actually was spelling his name wrong? I always thought it was F-A-R-V-E, not F-A-V-R-E.
Yeah, it's F-A-R-V-E. Yeah.
No, it's F-A-V-R-E.
Favorite? It's far.
Yeah, it's F-A-V-R-E. I'm dead serious. That's how you say it is spelled. I never knew that until he got in. Well, the lack thereof of the media news, but not in the Twitter news.
Oh yeah, it is.
No.
Oh shoot! Oh my gosh, I'm tripping. You're right. It is F-A-V-R-E. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I never knew that. But anyways, so the man is a piece of
He's a
explicit. Yeah. POS.
He's a turd.
Piece of crap. Any way you want to say it. Yeah. So this man, yeah, I don't know how the hell he's not going to talk about the same way even Jameis stealing some crab legs was talking about.
Oh yeah, no, it's in
Jameis taking $20 worth of crab legs or whatever it was, versus taking millions of dollars away from taxpayer money, on unallocated money, and gonna go put it. No, it was welfare fraud. That's what it is. I'm looking at it. It's welfare fraud, so that's for the opioid too.
And then the thing about it, the establishment in Mississippi had the nerve to shame and this is where I am on Jackson State's side. The establishment had the nerve to shame Jackson State for what they want to do moving forward versus shaming Brett Favre because of the fact that he's a criminal. That's pitiful. And then the fact too is, I'm going to say this. Why did the media, white media in particular, Why are they not talking about Brett Favre and the criminal that he is, like how they talked about Michael Vick when the dog situation happened?
I didn't even get into the Michael Vick thing because that's also very true. But I was talking about the lowest of lows and minute impact on society with the James Crab legs versus Michael Vick. They portrayed him. You know how we all know that went. And then you have Brett Favre not even getting 2 minutes of airtime.
Oh, I know. I think the only person that I've seen.
Well, we know why. We know why.
Oh, I know. Yeah, of course we know why. We know why.
Yeah.
It's what it is. I hate to say it, like, well, you know, yeah, there you go. Whitewash media. Just say it. Whitewash media. Nobody's gonna cancel us.
And we're wearing white shirts.
Well, I got a little bit of black in my sweatshirt, so
hey, well, Spider-Man's got black down here, but it's all right.
You know what? Look, Spider-Man can be black, as we've already seen.
Hey, Spider-Man is black, Spanish, white. It doesn't matter who's under the mask.
Exactly. Even Jamie Foxx in the movie said, spoiler alert, I was really hoping you were black. So
Miles Morales. Can't wait till Jamie Foxx meets Miles Morales. We're way off topic, but
we are.
$77 million fraud case is what it is, I think.
Yes,
yeah, it is $77 million. Yeah, this is $77 million can go a lot and a lot of things, but it shouldn't be going to your daughter's volleyball stadium.
That could go towards relief as far as like the city of Jackson and everything like that. But instead, he steals it.
I mean, Tom Brady taking all that PPP money didn't get talked about either. You ain't know about that one. Well, unless you want to transfer over to the NFL, now we'll talk about that.
PPP, yeah, we can. I'm trying to figure out what does PPP stand for.
That was for the that COVID money for businesses. Let me pull it up.
I'm really drawing a blank here because I'm trying to figure out.
All right. He's took. Okay. I gotta find it. Give me a second.
I'm giving you a second. Well, while he finds that, I will say this: Tua had a performance that rivaled that of Dan Marino and Bob Greasy this weekend. 6 touchdowns. That mark has only been ever touched by Dan Marino back in the 80s and Bob Greasy in the 70s with the Dolphins, which is very impressive, honestly. So, I mean, it offers me to say, for all those people that were trying to give up on Tua and say Tua wasn't the answer for the Dolphins, y'all owe Tua an apology. Tua showed what this team can be and where he can take them. And for that, with this new staff, you got to let this just roll. Because I see the Dolphins as being a playoff team. They may not win the division, but they can sure enough work their way into a wild card spot.
No, they're going to get in the wild card.
Oh, yeah.
I was even on the same side, I was talking to somebody and I said, you know, if you're the Dolphins and if you're the well, not much the Dolphins, but if you're the Saints, I don't think you want to play New Orleans for the playoffs. The Dome, since they changed that name, they've just been terrible there. If you look it up, I think they're like 2-8 over the last couple of years. Last 2 years there, it's been ugly. All right, so yeah, so it was essentially there was $793 billion for money, right? And during COVID, they gave people who had businesses, right, like government money to help them support themselves during COVID. So there was like the Kardashians, Tom Brady, and all of them who really didn't need the money, got over $1 million worth of money, and then they spent it on yachts.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so just look it up and you'll see what I'm talking about. I was gonna get into the specifics, but I remember that came up and nobody talked about that.
I'm telling you, we know why. Like I said,
we know why. It's just whatever. But back onto the Tua point, yeah. So I really liked what I saw from Miami. Mm-hmm. It's just I'm more concerned on the health of the Baltimore corners.
Yes.
Then Tua will be fine because he's got receivers where he has a wide margin of error, if you know what I mean, for throwing the ball. Because even on his deep balls, he can underthrow it or overthrow it, and they have the talent to make that gap close up.
Yes.
The margin of error.
Yes.
Because Tyreek has not lost a step, and Waddle is the real deal.
If anything, bringing him down to like a warmer climate has made him faster. If you ask me. And then plus he seems like he's I don't know.
He has a good chemistry with Tua.
And yeah, and then he seems more loose. He seems, I almost want to say he seems more happy. To be honest, I guess it's because he's in Florida. He's enjoying himself.
He's at home.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this with A&M, right? Alabama A&M. We said you bring in all these talent, but if the chemistry is not there, it's not going to work.
Exactly.
But you're seeing this with Tua and Tyreek, and even with Mike McDaniel, there's a chemistry, and even with Waddle coming in, it's like they're all in sync at the same point, and that's what you're seeing with them. Who did they play week 1? I don't even remember. They played the Patriots.
Yeah, they played the
Patriots. Played the Patriots, and they beat the Patriots pretty thoroughly.
Convincingly.
Yeah, convincingly. Even if Tua had a couple of screwballs, that was just because your hand slips. It happens sometimes. And also humidity and all that. But I'm not getting into the specifics. But you have Tyreek consistently producing big numbers in 2 games he's been with Tua. I mean, I'm sure defense is a little thing, but they were saying, how Tyreek lost step in Kansas City. He had his worst yards after the catch numbers, blah, 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 blah. Have you seen the man the last 2 weeks?
Right. I know.
And then you got another speed demon on the other side of him.
Exactly.
Like people saying Waddle's only a short yardage guy, but
no, he's not. Did you not see his tape at Alabama?
Because last year he was mostly working underneath.
Well, last year he was a rookie. They were trying to work him in. Like, dude, and the same thing is going to probably happen with George Pickens this year. He's not going to set the world on fire like he really could. Wait till he gets comfortable. And when he really figures it out, then that's when he's going to be a problem. So I think
no. With Pickens, he needs a new offensive coordinator.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not even Trubisky's fault. Trubisky's on like a leash tighter than, not say that because that would be considered animal abuse.
Well, honestly, can you kind of blame the Steelers though too, given who the QB is and his history?
No, this is an issue. Even Ben Roethlisberger complained about it last year with the play calling.
Oh, okay.
Remember that quote I brought up yesterday with Trubisky and the players complaining about the play calls and Trubisky not being allowed to audible it?
Mm-hmm.
But in the 2-minute drill, he's allowed to audible, and that's the best the offense looks.
Then Mike Tomlin needs to cut the cord on the OC.
He doesn't want to because he said, change everything and disrupt. And, Tomlin likes to have limited – well, actually, no, he doesn't want limited disruptions. He dealt with Le'Veon Bell the entire year. And so he'll deal with it in the offseason. He'll deal with the distractions in the offseason. I don't know how he does it.
Right.
But he does. But also, every team in that division is either 1-1 or 0-2. So, I mean, Pittsburgh's still in it. They need to show up tomorrow night with that offense. That's why I'm picking them. I have faith that either Trubisky's going to play that game. It won't be Pickett. Pickett will play next week.
Well, the good thing is Mason Rudolph won't get his head smashed in. So, everything's okay.
But without TJ Watt, you need – I mean, Miles Jack is second in the league in tackles, but you're going to need to make sure you don't let Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt run all over you. Because if you could take those two away, ain't nobody beating you in Cleveland. Like, Amari Cooper will get open, but it's up to Jacoby Brissett to actually hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Jets' corners.
The thing is with Cleveland, what I'm noticing is like if you let the game get close with Cleveland, they know how to like just in a flip of a switch, they know how to just close a game out and take it from you. I'm noticing that because these last 2 games they've been pretty close. Where the Panthers let them play with them for a while because there was elements there, of course, and then the Jets. The Jets had no business, hanging around and stuff, but the Jets managed to get in there and get it done.
Garrett Wilson, the real deal.
Yeah, he legit. But now you got the Steelers coming in. Steelers Steelers offense reeling a little bit. Don't let the Browns hang around too long because the Browns can steal this from you.
The Browns are the favorites. The Browns should be winning this game. Pittsburgh has no reason to be in this game.
They have a decent defense or defensive secondary, I guess. Minka makes up for a lot.
Minka makes up for a lot, but that Steelers team should have no reason hanging in with Cleveland, even with Jacoby at quarterback.
I agree.
Because, I mean, they have one of the best offensive lines in football. Pittsburgh has the worst. They have one of the best defensive lines in Pittsburgh. They have one of the best defensive lines in Cleveland. Pittsburgh's missing the best player on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead.
No. What?
Oh, I was gonna say also too, if you are watching this, head over to YouTube to leave a comment if you would like to chime in on this. But yeah, also too, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, I know you're doing.
I want to talk about the Sun God and this comment he just had.
Oh, I was gonna talk
on Ross St. Brown.
What did he say?
Okay, so did you see he did an interview like during the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how he went on that crazy tear at the end of the last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year. He said, I remember every single wide receiver that got drafted performed. There were like 15 or 16 of them.
Oh yeah,
right?
it was Hard Knocks, yeah.
And it was he got one in the 4th round. He said he was scanning the Commanders sideline last week for Dynami Brown, who won it before him. Yeah. I said, I don't forget things like that. I didn't see him much in that game. Man was straight up trolling Dynami Brown. I was like, I mean, the Lions got Mini Cooper Kupp, and they got Mini Alvin Kamara. Well, Alvin Kamara light and Cooper Kupp light. And that play call pretty good.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The Lions are.
I think that Lions team might sneak out with that. How the way the NFC North is looking, because Green Bay is gettable. Green Bay is very gettable if you could stop the run.
Yes,
but
I agree.
That is not a given. But if you can stop that run, you have a shot at Green Bay.
I agree.
And let's be honest, Aiden Hutchinson can probably make Aaron Rodgers' life hell.
I agree. I agree.
And then if you catch the Vikings on prime time, get primetime Kirk. And as we know, that's Nathan Peterman.
Exactly. Now, I'm actually going to look at this to see when does
Detroit play Minnesota?
Yeah, because I
think it's both 1:00 games. Detroit has no primetime games.
Oh, well, thankfully for Kirk Cousins, this game isn't in prime time. Do they have any 4:00 games? No, they do not. Oh my gosh. They don't even
Okay, so yeah, they play Minnesota 1:00 this week and 2:00, well, time change. In December, week 14 in Detroit.
All right, so now I'm going to put the buzzer on.
And I want to see Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah, if you watch him the last 2 weeks, he made Terry McLaurin's life hell.
I'm going to put the buzzer on. So I'm going to ask you this.
Oh, great. He has a buzzer.
After this week, do you see them? They get Seattle at home. Do you see them beating Seattle?
Yes.
Okay, I won't use the buzzer. Do you see them beating the Patriots in New England?
I give them a solid 60% chance.
Okay, I won't use the buzzer. The Cowboys in Dallas.
40% chance. I think they could pull it the way how Dallas is looking.
I'm not going to use the buzzer then. That's interesting. Okay, they could probably win.
Wait, what's the buzzer for?
If they lose. So if you say they lose.
Okay, go.
All right.
You're going to need the buzzer for the next one.
Dolphins at home.
Yeah, Miami's going to get them.
Right.
Green Bay, I think they split Green Bay. So I think they win the one at home and lose the one in Lambeau.
Okay. So,
I think they could beat Chicago both times.
Okay, sweep.
Depending on health, I expect Barkley to probably be banged up by the time they play week 11. So I think they could beat the Giants. They're going to lose to the Bills.
Jaguars.
Now, that is a good one, actually, because the Jaguars look not legit. It's only 2 weeks. But based on what I've seen, they're not going to be pushovers, albeit it's against Indianapolis, and Jacksonville against Indianapolis is the biggest fraud game in the NFL. Okay. So I'm going to go Detroit.
Okay, leave it alone. They get the Vikings again. This time they get them in Detroit.
Okay, so I think they lose tomorrow, Sunday, but they're gonna win this one in Detroit.
Okay, they get the Jets in New York.
Yeah, it's coming into crunch time for the Jets. Let's call it Detroit.
Okay.
You think they can beat the Jets, or do you think they're gonna lose to the Jets?
I think it's possible. The Jets aren't anything that's that special. At that point, I think
they're gonna beat the Panthers because at that point the Panthers are gonna be tanking because Matt Rule's gonna get fired this weekend if the Saints beat them.
Yeah.
10 straight games being lost. Yeah, Matt Rule's gone if they lose this game to New Orleans.
So,
yeah, we already said they're gonna sweep the Bears and split the Packers. So yeah, that's what 8 games, 7 games, 8 games.
let's see. So that's essentially you said 1.
They're 1-1 right now. So
4, 5, 6, 7.
they have a good possibility they could. I don't know if they make the wild card, but I think they're gonna be right in the hunt.
So you're saying they could be like a 10-win team, essentially?
Potentially, if they keep up what they're doing.
Fair enough.
Because I know they started off slow against Philly, but Philly's also a playoff team.
Right.
And they did come back on Philly.
They gave Philly a game, too.
They gave Philly a headache.
Yeah. They did.
Like, them gnawing off kneecaps thing, that Dan Campbell mentality. I mean, Okuda looking like a top 3 pick, finally. If you watch him against McLaurin, I already mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a couple other guys in the secondary. I don't remember the safety's name. Don't ask me about that. But then you have, I think, like the highest rated rookie as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name. I don't know the names. I just know.
Or for
Detroit.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What was his name?
But I gotta look that up. But I mean, if you want to take over while I look up the names, that'd be great.
Now, the other thing I want to talk about too, and I know he's happy because I don't believe Lattimore got suspended. Mike Evans, his appeal did not get upheld. His appeal was
Aiden Hutchinson got top 5 double teams in the NFL as a pass rusher.
Dude, he's gonna be something serious. Yeah. But yeah, I know Ace is doing cartwheels because Marshawn Lattimore didn't get suspended.
He shouldn't have got suspended anyway.
I didn't think he was going to, honestly. I mean, I kind of figured
he was walking back to his sideline, and then Bruce Arians and Tom Brady said something to him, and he turned around, and then Fournette shoved him, and that's how the whole thing started. Because he was chirping. Okay, so he broke up the pass with Evans, and then Arians started, or Scotty Miller on 3rd down. That's right, Scotty Miller. He broke up Evans another play, but he broke up the pass with Scotty Miller. And Arian started to chirp him. And then Brady was running down the field to yell at the ref. And then he waved off Brady when he was walking back. And then I think Brady said, F you, bitch.
Yes,
sorry, excuse my language. And then Lattimore turned around. And then Fournette came in. And then the minute Fournette shoved Lattimore, you could see Mike Evans starting to fly in. Arian told him something. He turned around and he was watching. And the minute he saw Fournette shove him, he went in. And he said how he saw Lattimore punch Fournette and shove Brady. And I'm like, where did you see that? Because they have an angle from Mike Evans, like you're watching from behind Evans, so you're seeing what he's seeing from higher up.
Yeah.
If you watch it from that angle, you cannot see anywhere where Lattimore punched Fournette and shoved Brady before he ran in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Oh, I never got suspended for anything like that." He just begged for the suspension.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to come. I was expecting 2 games, honestly, but the Bucs are grateful that it's only 1 because now they get him back in prime
Malcolm
time.
Rodriguez is the Detroit linebacker.
Dude, he was the talk of Hard Knocks. Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodrigo or whatever his name. Yeah, this dude is.
Dude, they were gassing him up on Hard Knocks, man. They love him because he came straight out, and the position coach came out and said it too. He said, "Look, Rodrigo is playing his ass off. He's going to play over a lot of you veterans just because he wants it more, and that's the mindset we're bringing in here. So, hey, put the young pup
in Detroit. We're rooting for you over in Detroit.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
But yeah, back to the Evans thing.
Go ahead. Switch over to college football.
Yeah. Like you see Arians on the sideline. That man should not have been on the sideline. I don't know where they said how the Saints didn't accommodate him, but there's the entire press box section for Tampa. And there's some guys for Tampa who were sitting where they're supposed to, and then you had Light and Arians who were supposed to be in the box on the sideline.
Now,
and then you had Arians walking the sideline like a coach.
I will say this. That is something that, people that have been around the game for a while tend to do. Jerry Jones does it more than he should, honestly, which is why the Cowboys are.
Yeah, but he doesn't talk to other players, is what I mean. Like,
look at how old he is. He's old as dirt.
Exactly. That's why no one says anything about it.
Jerry Jones better keep his mouth shut, and if he wants to be thinking, Jerry Jones, he got a lot of money, so he better not. Yeah, he better not bark, and you better not bark back at him, because
no, if he barks, he's gonna get a heart attack.
We might cough up some dust.
But you know what I mean, though. Like,
I
you should not be in a coaching position when you're no longer a coach.
That is true too.
Imagine. Let me throw a scenario before you just say what you say, right? Imagine the Saints still had Malcolm Jenkins, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and Sean Payton on that team when that happened Sunday. That would turn really ugly.
Yeah, it would. Oh, it would have. Yeah, it would have been nasty because I think that
because only Marcus May was in it with Lattimore versus Russell Gage, who did throw a slugger at Lattimore in the pile. You had Fournette, you had Evans, you had Brady all in it. But just imagine if those other two on defense were in it. And Sean Payton probably come in midfield to bark at Arians for coming out so far. If he was head coach.
Would have been different.
I'm just saying that's probably what would happen. That game would turn way uglier.
It would have. It would have been more intense, in my opinion. Yeah, it would have been way more. My thing is see, I know you say that, but my thing now is like, where the hell is PJ Williams?
He doesn't get into that.
That's true. I think that goes back to his time at Florida State and being just really disciplined as a player.
You don't really hear much from PJ. He don't talk the trash like how Gardner did.
He doesn't.
He just knows about it. I mean, he gets burnt deep anytime he has to play like man on man, but he's actually been good as a safety because he doesn't have to play man coverage.
Because he used to talk a lot in college, but I mean, at the same time too, he was playing in the same.
He got humbled in the NFL. He popped his hamstring and broke his leg rookie year. Then he got a concussion that would put him on a stretcher out the game his whole second year.
Right.
And then he had the rough year outside, and then he had to move into slot, and then he had Chauncey Gardner take the slot from him after Kyle Rudolph. Was it Kyle Rudolph? He had Kyle Rudolph on, or he was Gardner-Johnson was there. Well, you know what I mean. So I think he got humbled, and he just starts to just go about his business.
As you should. So I mean, I can respect that. And that now takes us to college football. So this weekend, I will say, you know what, Ace and Flash, they talk about USF to no end, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. USF, they took Florida to the wire.
Hey, they got Alabama next year. Alabama schedule came out, and I'm like, why? Just why?
You know what? It goes back to what USF said. If you want to be the best, you got to play the best. And
to get blown out 70-0?
Look, you know what? I just want to have ticket. I want to get a ticket to that.
I'll go to that game. I just don't know who the hell's gonna be on Alabama next year.
That's true. I mean, look, I want to go because I've never seen Alabama play.
That too, but see, like, if we had even not the Mac Jones Alabama team, but if we had the Tua with not even just Ruggs, but you had Waddle, you had Smith, you had
Ruggs.
Yeah, well, forget him. Nobody really cares about him.
But
LSU was good.
I got to tell you something about that too.
Which one? His college days, Ruggs?
No, the fact that he's out of prison. He's like out training right now.
Oh, that's probably because of court date. So he's on bail probably.
Might be. I don't know. Because I'm like, wait, you shouldn't have even gotten bail. Like, huh? But
I mean, he ain't playing in the NFL again, so we don't got to worry about that.
Never. I mean, hey, look, he was out there training like he was, unless he plans on going to Canada.
Unless he makes a deal, which I doubt. Even then, I don't think you're going to get a deal that lets you out before you hit 40.
That's true. I agree. But yeah, back to USF and Florida. I will say I was very impressed with USF. I felt honestly, to me, the reason they lost that game was the center screwed them. That's the snap by the center. That's inexcusable. You can't let stuff like that happen in a pinch. And then the fact too, the bad snap and the
bad hold
that doomed USF. Those two plays, because they always say there's one or two plays that can win or lose you a game. Those two plays lost USF that game, because that game, if I'm USF, as close as they were before that bad snap, I'm going for the jugular, because I know somewhere in my playbook there's plays that could win me that game.
I think if they didn't call that timeout and allow UF to reset their defense and take the momentum away from themselves, I think that played also a factor into this bad snap, because when they were going no huddle marching straight down, Florida was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And then you see the timeout happen, and then UF imploded. Or not UF, USF imploded.
Yeah. And I think, USF just, they visualize where they want to go with it now. Because now you see the possibilities of what you can be. But now you have to put the plan into action and actually do it. You have another shot against a good Louisville team Saturday at noon in Louisville. You've been there before. You've won there before. You got to learn how to finish it now. One or two plays can win or lose you a game.
I think you got to keep Louisville on upset alert. It's just I don't trust Bohannon at all. Like throwing the ball, running he's good, but God, him throwing the ball is just terrible.
Yeah, I know it's.
Jeez. I mean, he's throwing to guys who's also been there since like Blake Barnett. Was it saying something? They're like 6 years. Like what's his name? Horn. What's his name? What's his first name? Horn. He's been there since I want to say like the year after Quentin Flores left. Actually, no, 2018. So he'd be a senior.
So he's been there since I left there. Got it.
I mean, you also had Bentley still leading the FBS in interceptions over in Nevada. You let him go. You had Tim McLean. I don't know if he's doing anything in UCF, but
because they got John Rice Plumlee starting. They got John Rice Plumlee starting for UCF.
Yeah, but I mean, if you had McLean playing, I think you have a better shot with him because he was developing good, and his arm talent was way better than Bohannon's running the same offense.
Look, I don't get it, man. Jeff Scott shouldn't have let that kid get away. He shouldn't have. But the other thing,
even after this UF game, do you think they still take a look at Scott Frost? Or Herm Edwards?
It depends how the year goes. I see. Someone asked me, how would Herm Edwards fit into the HBCU culture? I said, at the time, before I knew what I knew, it's possible because people get fired and people leave every year. But I would not touch Herm Edwards because there's a lot of NCAA allegations connected to him. So I would not touch him. I would steer clear.
You better thank Arizona State for letting Jaden Daniels hit the transfer portal.
Exactly.
Like Arizona State booted Jaden Daniels to the curb.
Exactly. And look, Jaden Daniels is likely, if he can keep on winning, he's going to a bowl game this year. Arizona State might not be. And Herm Edwards, if I'm Herm Edwards right now, I would go back to ESPN. I'd go back to TV. I wouldn't no. But like I said, a lot of NCAA infractions connected to him. USF, if you decide to move on from not Scott Frost, Jeff Scott, I would. And literally, I would look more so at Scott Frost, honestly. But again, it depends how the year finishes and how things look. If you see USF go on a run and build off of this Florida game, like let's say they go into Louisville and they win. And then they went out they get a few surprise wins against against Houston, to get another surprise.
Houston's gettable.
Yeah, and plus I think Houston
got fights going on their own sideline. Houston definitely gettable.
I think Houston's imploding, honestly, if you ask me. So I mean, I
think I'm taking USF for that game. I know. Flash 2 weeks ago he said he didn't think USF was gonna win a single game after the Howard game. Was it? They played Howard, right? Yeah. Since after the Howard game, I think he said he's not gonna think they're gonna win a game after. I think there's a couple games they might win. I think they finished but 4 wins.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be progress this year. It's gonna be progress. And then the other thing too is people are gonna say 4 wins and they brought back Jeff Scott. If they bring him back, you gotta look at the facet in which they play in a lot of the games from here on out. If they lose, because like I said, it's like what Bobby Bowden used to say.
What?
First you lose big, then you lose close, then you win close, then you win big. So you got to be patient with him. You have to be patient. You got to give people. You can't keep recycling coaches.
Well, I mean, his end game management has been terrible the last 2 years. But I mean, that's also the losing close. So
yeah, exactly.
So when is that phase of winning close taking place? That is what you got to look for this year. You have to see him win at least 3 close games in order to keep him.
It's got to be slow progress. Honestly, I will say this: if and this is a strong if he gets UCF this year, he's coming back, no questions asked.
Oh no questions asked. He'll stay. I mean, he has the talent for the offense to like be decent in coaching. Is just you need to start recruiting and actually improving on your recruiting. Also, you got to keep an eye on this recruiting class too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I haven't heard him bring in a single like local talent in the last 2 years.
It's crazy.
But wow.
One last thing, though. Two last things. Clemson gets a very talented Wake Forest team this weekend, so that's going to be an interesting matchup. This will be Clemson's first test. We're going to see, how for real is Wake Forest, and can Clemson kind of figure things out? And then also, too, Florida State. They get Boston College this weekend under the lights and dope. So, Florida State looking to go 4-0 for the first time since 2016. That would be huge if they can win that. So, ACC, pretty big weekend, I must say. Also, if you're going to be in Tallahassee this weekend, make sure you are well aware of your surroundings when you're driving, because it's going to be crazy traffic in Tallahassee this weekend. And even really hell next weekend, too, if we're there. Because FAMU and Mississippi Valley play next week, and then next week is also Florida State's homecoming, so that's going to be hectic as is. But, yeah. So, I think we can switch on over to Hot Topics now.
All right. Zion's in the best shape of his life. Like, around 250. He was up at 280. Mm-hmm. He's down around 250 now.
Much needed.
I mean, the arms aren't looking jacked like it was like toned back in the Duke days, but the mid section has slimmed down a lot.
Fair. Also, too, I wanted to point something out. Stevie Wonder, or actually no, Shaq recapped his experience with Stevie Wonder at a game. Actually, wait, oh my gosh, let me find it. So Shaq came out and said, I remember I sat courtside with Stevie Wonder when Stevie Wonder was there. He yelled brick at LeBron James at a LeBron James 3. And I said, how the F do you know? And that's when Shaq knew the Lakers season was over.
I remember hearing that like 2 days ago.
I mean, look, if Stevie Wonder know you sorry, that's a wrap.
That was this year, right? This last season?
Mm-hmm. Mind you, too, I don't know if you know this. Stevie Wonder was also the last person to say that he saw Michael Jackson alive. Don't quote me on that. I don't know why.
He saw Michael Jackson alive.
Look, do with that what you may. Do with it what you may. I know he just dropped the pencil, folks. Oh my gosh.
I didn't drop the pencil. I'm actually gonna look that up.
Look. I don't get what Stevie getting at. I don't know. It's weird. But also too, I don't know if I already stated it last week or not, but we got a few more teams that have been eliminated from the playoff contention spot. The Royals, the Marlins, the Rangers, and the Cubs are also have become the next 4 teams to be eliminated from the Major League Baseball playoff spot. But we've also got where the Atlanta Braves, they're back in the playoff hunt. So there's that. So the Braves are looking to defend their World Series title. So kudos to them. And then also too, let's see.
Is it what the top 3 teams make the playoffs? Like in the division, or is top 8 in each conference?
I believe it's top 8 on each side. And then
Okay,
also,
so right, what?
I was gonna say the Astros made it as well. They clinched after beating the Rays, and the Mets have also clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah, that this offseason is gonna be funny and up in New York because, I tweeted this out. It didn't get any traction, but it is true. Tell me the difference in situation between Aaron Judge and Lamar Jackson. That is those 2 teams are gonna regret the hell every day of their life for not giving them their money before the season. Because that check is gonna be so big, or somebody else is gonna be writing that big check. And it's gonna probably be a team either in your division or it's gonna be a rival. And definitely the Yankees case, the Mets are gonna.
Honestly, someone said, and even give or take, they're also a Red Sox fan, hardcore Red Sox fan. Someone did say that, it's kind of funny that Aaron Judge may be a Red Sox next year.
He ain't being no Red Sox next year. Stop it. They couldn't keep Mookie Betts. So, moving on, the current playoff picture is Astros, Yankees, Guardians, Blue Jays, Rays, Mariners, Orioles, White Sox for the American League.
I still can't get used to the Guardians thing.
Nope. And then in the National League, it's Dodgers, Mets, Cardinals, Braves, Padres, Phillies, Brewers, Giants. If it is top 8. So,
I can get with it.
Anyway, the fun stuff starts back. Hockey is back, and NBA starting this week. End of the week. I think it's when training camp is.
Looking forward to it. And then also, too, two interesting thing happened. We had fan altercations this weekend, 2 things. A fan that was under investigation that is being tied to this, that tried to strike Kyler Murray this weekend. So there's a fan in Oakland. He tried to strike Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray looked up.
He did hit him in the face, but I think Kyler Murray said he doesn't care.
Yeah, and then you also.
I think he was trying to high five him or hit. I don't know if he was trying to punch, because when I watched the video slow down, it's not like a closed fist like if you're trying to punch him. I don't know if he was trying to like high five him, or like his hand just try to slap him. I don't know. Why would you slap him at that point? Because it's not like he's the one who just ended your game, and he's not the one who blew the lead. Yeah. He came back from the lead. Wasn't him who blew the lead. He wasn't the one popping champagne in the third quarter.
This is why I don't like how like fans have that club seating like ground level
on the ground level. Yeah,
like right there next to the players. I don't like that.
You're gonna get a lot of situations like where like the Patriots fan threw beer on Tyreek Hill a couple years ago.
Yeah,
you're gonna start seeing that come up because some people are gonna be drunk down there, and it's easier to get the players when they celebrate in the end zone.
Exactly. And the other one in Cleveland was a fan actually threw a bottle at the Browns owner, and that fan has now been caught and he's been banned for life.
Well, to be fair, it kind of is warranted. I don't want to be up there promoting it or anything. Like what he did was wrong, but I'm not saying it wasn't justified. I mean, Cleveland fans have had a rough 25 years, give or take. 2 good ones in them 25 years.
True.
I mean, that's an entire generational lifespan right there at this point.
Oh my god.
I mean, you did give almost $250 million to Predator, but we weren't going to get into that one either.
All right.
You gave a entire picture for him.
Folks, with that's going to do it for us this evening. Oh my gosh, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, we're not going to go point out every single shortcoming of the Cleveland Browns.
Oh my god. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Don't forget to also like, share, and subscribe to all of our social media platforms as they come across the bottom ticker down below.
If you're watching on Twitter, make sure you go to the bio of the Penalty Talk account. Hit that link in the bio, and hit that subscribe button when you get to YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Be a friend. Tell a friend.
We've
Like,
noticed.
share, subscribe, and put in the comment section what you want to talk about next week.
Exactly. All 1,000 of you. Hit the link on the page. Go to YouTube. Go subscribe. Now. Por favor. Thank you. I just wanted to get that house cleaning out the way.
Stay safe, stay blessed. See you Saturday. Or JPeeps will see you Saturday. You'll see me in the comment section probably saying some dumb thing. Who knows?
He'll see you Tuesday. Take care.
I'll see you Tuesday, though.
Good night.